Alright guys, this is a video that we're going to try to shoot. First video I've ever made. I've looked on YouTube to try to find out on a Ford 5000 PTO shaft change, and this video is not on there for this particular shaft. Alright, the first thing we need to do is scotch your wheels, keep it from rolling off the jack stands. Alright, I think I've got everything ready. You want to pull the drain plug, which is right under there, under the rear end. I got my jack stand under there, and I got my jack back there. Safety is always good. Alright, I've already got the oil drained, and got my cherry picker rigged up on this tire. It still has fluid in it, so it's very heavy. Got some of the lug nuts pulled off. Alright, you come back here. We have to take our shaft seal housing off. And I believe that's a 5/8 socket that I've already have ready. You have to pull a pin here or pull that pin. We're going to pull this pin because it looks the easiest. We're going to fold this up and tie it to the seat. And then we have to pull the whole axle housing out. We take the bolts all around the housing. We have to take them loose. I'm going to leave the fender in place. Try to get by and cut some little corners here. We're going to unbolt the chain. And of course, on the inside of the housing, the shaft goes through the housing, and there's a big old nut on the back side. I'm sure it's got a Carter key or a lock washer type deal on the nut. I can't remember. I've changed this out before. What happened, the guy that was using it had a big bush hog that he was dragging, and the universal joint slung out and come down and hit the drawbar, which snapped the PTO shaft off clean at the housing. Let's see what else we got to take loose. You got your brake rod that comes through the casing. You have to pull this pin here, pull it out, and I believe it'll slide right out. Of course, I've already got the oil drained out of this thing. I tried to get everything ready. First video I've ever made, so it might not be that good, but maybe to help somebody out. Alright guys, I got the wheel off, which was pretty easy. It was stuck to the hub just a little bit, so I had to take a sledgehammer, kind of hit the tire a little bit to get it to break loose, but I got it off and I moved it over there. It's on the cherry picker. Worked out pretty good. Let's see. The next step is we're going to take these pins out of everything. Then we're going to get our brake lever. Then we're going to pull our housing bolts out. Alright, we got the wheel off, we got the hub bolts out, the housing bolts, got the PTO seals cover bolts out, and here's the shaft. We got to get to the back side to take a nut off and get the Carter key out.
Yep.
We still got to pull the housing out. We got her strapped up. I don't know if it's safe or not, but maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll be easy putting back together. And there's a couple bolts that I didn't tell you about. Was right up under here for the step. There's 2 bolts on the back side, and you got 3 long bolts. There's 2 bolts here that's longer than the rest of them, and there's one under the back, under the one of the lift arms. That bolt is longer. And also, I didn't tell you that before you tear it all apart, you probably need to blow all the dust off, keep it from falling down in there. Of course, I know this is not the cleanest, but we got all the loose stuff off. Maybe it won't get down in the housing. Alright. Alright. We got the axle tore out of it. Of course, the ring gear come out with it, chunk. There's the broke shaft. We got the bearing on the new shaft. I don't know if you can see up in there, but we got to get that other bearing put back in place. Everything went pretty good. Hope everything works out. Here's the inside. Everything looks pretty clean in there. Got a little bit of trash in the bottom, not too much. Basically, got to put this big nut back here on this side of the gear on the PTO shaft. All that work for that one little nut. Alright. Alright, we got the new shaft in. We got our carter pin back in. We had to take a shim out of the back for the end play. We're going to put our bolts back in. We're going to slide all of it back together. Probably put a little grease around that O-ring on the housing. And that'll be about it. Other than the rest of it. But I didn't tell you earlier, but we had to take the bolts out of the step so it would clear. And I think that's about it. Alright, so we got it back together. We run out of oil. We didn't have enough to fill it up. I'm thinking it holds about 8 gallons. We put 5 gallons in it. Got the tire back on it. We got the fender all bolted back up. The footstep. Yeah. And that's it. Maybe she'll run, maybe she'll pull and get out of here.